Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Chebet Makena. And thank you so much for choosing to join me today. So as you can see from the title of the video, we're taking stock of 2019. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Also like this video, share it with your clan as usual, and yeah, so let's get right into the video. So today we are going to be taking stock of 2019, basically looking back at how the year has been, so that we see what we can maintain and what we can do better next year. So this video is actually very personal to me because 2019 was the first year I actually came up with a vision board. So I talked about this on my Instagram. In case you do not follow me in case you don't follow me, Chebet_Makena is where you can find me on Instagram. Yeah, so I talked about how coming up with a vision board this year really came through for me, and I got a request or two to do the video, and I thought, why not, because sharing is caring, right? 2019, basically the best time to come up with a vision board is obviously in January or December, while towards the end of the preceding year. So in this case, if we're preparing a vision board for 2020, you can do it either now, the last 2 weeks of December, or like before January ends. Yeah. So what guided me to create my vision board was I watched a video that Joanna K did, and also Nancy Moy had done a video, and Terry and Chebet had done a podcast. So they're the ones who guided me. So basically you can find like a guide on how to go about your vision board. So when I came up with my vision board this year, I was actually quite nervous because I didn't know some of the things I wrote on my vision board. I didn't know how I was going to, like have them pass. But I was like, you know what, I will just write this and work towards it and do what I can. And you guys, I was amazed. I think having a vision board is important because a vision board is like a picture, like a portrait, and you like put it somewhere in your room or somewhere where you can see it daily. So the fact that you have it there and you can see it, I think it creates a sense of direction, and also it gives you some sense of accountability to yourself. So anyway, I'll talk about like why I think a vision board is important towards the end of the video. So right now, I just want to like give you guys brief examples of what I had on my vision board and how they came to be this year. So, and by the way, you guys, do you think a vision board should be private? Like, is it something you can come up with and be like, hey guys, this is my vision board and this is how it looks, and post pictures on Instagram and show people even on YouTube and all of that? I don't know, because for me, I usually feel like if I tell people about my plans, I'm going to jinx it. So I usually prefer to like be quiet about it and just tell like the people maybe who are close to me. Sometimes I don't even tell the people who are close to me. I just tell people who I'm going to work with, because obviously they need to know what they're working on. Anyway, I don't know what you guys think. You can let me know in the comment section. Do you think a vision board should be private? The main things I had on my vision board this year, first of all, was to make Chebet Makena, my brand, to be more intentional about it. By Chebet Makena, my brand, I mean digital marketing. I'm a digital marketing consultant, so I do that for clients, either personal or corporate, but mostly I've worked with personal and a few corporate. So my plan this year was to be so intentional about my brand, and I can confidently say that Chebet Makena has really sprouted this year. And sorry, I'm distracting. Yeah, so Chebet Makena has really sprouted this year, and I'm so grateful to God. One of the things that had to go into making it intentional, making Chebet Makena the brand intentional, was to send out proposals to clients, because before because let me tell you guys, proposals are not my cup of tea. But this is my cup of tea. bad joke. Anyway, so writing proposals can be quite the task. So I used to procrastinate, especially last year. But this year I really set out to do it. The other thing that I had on my vision board, which amazed me, you guys, was I had travel destinations. So I am into traveling, like I love traveling so much. So I had destinations and like the dates, not dates, but like the month which I wanted to travel. So I had like Lamu, I had Wasini, I wanted to go to Amboseli, which didn't work out, and I wanted to do solo travel. So those are two different things I had on my vision board. First, to travel was one of them. So traveling means you need money for traveling, right? So I was intentional about saving towards the trips that I wanted to go to this year. And the other thing about travel was solo travel. So if you follow me on Instagram, again, plugging myself, you know that I am into self-love. Motto is self-love for the win. Yeah, so I had solo travel on my vision board this year. I had never done solo travel before. So, and I wanted to go to for my first trip, I wanted to go to a destination that wasn't too obvious. Too obvious, I mean, you know, like when you say you're going for a weekend getaway, it would be Nakuru, Naivasha, Mombasa. I don't know, but that's what I think. So, excuse me, I went to Kajiado County. I know, you're probably thinking, what's in Kajiado though? I went to this really cute place called Tumaini Gardens. Maybe I'll leave a picture here for you guys to see. But yeah, that was my first solo travel. This year I've done 3 trips solo, and again, I'm so amazed at how, I don't know, it's like writing the vision board and having it and just seeing it. It's like it gears you towards actually wanting to, you know, like ace that goal and be like, yes, I did this. Second solo trip was Wasini Island, which I did in June, and the other one was 2-3 weeks ago when I went to Nanyuki. So yeah, I had solo travel on my vision board last year and I made it. So the other thing I had on my vision board, this one I had like written it down, because you know a vision board is like it's like a board, literally it's a board, but then now you can so next year I actually plan to go really ham on my vision board, now that I saw, because my 2019 one was pretty basic. I did it last minute because in January everyone is like, so what are your goals, what are your resolutions, and actually sat back and I was like, maybe I should like intentionally plan my year. And so how small that was, and it actually, you know, came out to be what the year was. I'm planning to go really ham on my vision board next year and make it so artisty, I want to say, like put pictures and all of that. But I was saying something, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I had written on my vision board that I wanted to travel and not have to pay a coin for it. I wanted to like work with a hotel or a travel agency and just, you know, experience a trip. So in May, I got an email from Kaskazi Beach Hotel, and I was like, did they send this to the wrong person, or like, you know, I was taken aback, but I was so excited also because May was towards my birthday, and they were so kind because I asked them if I could go, like I could push I could push the trip towards my birthday, and they agreed. So yeah, I had the opportunity to go to work with Kaskazi Beach Hotel. I went to experience the hotel, which was amazing. I got to take very beautiful pictures for my golden year birthday, which was this year. I turned 24 on the 24th. The other thing, and this I think should be on all our vision boards every year, is to be so intentional about a spiritual journey. So for me this year, what I really wanted to invest in terms of my spiritual journey was spending more time with God. And spending more time with God means reading the word and just being in a moment, maybe just listening to worship, whichever works for you. But for me, like, I really wanted, like, as we call it, QT, I wanted to be so intentional about my quiet time with God. And I may not have done the best, but I think having the idea that this is what I want to do actually pushed me and reminded me to, you know, keep at it and keep you know, pursuing the word of God. And actually, I should mention, so when the year was starting, I was in a church. Okay, so I grew up in, you know, the church where you grew up in, that's where your mom goes to and all of that. So I had that church, but now I felt like I needed to move churches. I started pursuing and now praying and intentionally talking to God about, you know, having a church I can call my home. And as the year ends, I'm so grateful that I got a church, which I'm usually so excited about Sundays because my spirit is really fed. And that's the other thing about, you know, praying and actually listening to God, to what God really wants. And sometimes it may not be what you want, but because it's God and, you know, He is right, He's our creator, He knows what's best for you, it's just best to follow Him. Yeah, so I got a church, and in that church, my gifts that I had been battling with a lot for a long time, I think even like God took them away from me for a while, because now I stopped struggling with them. And like this one just came, like, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to actually trust in God and just listen to Him and submit to His will. The other thing I had on my vision board was I wanted to do my master's this year. So just in case you're wondering, I have no master's degree yet. I have never been to a master's class before. So yeah, that one didn't go the way I expected it to go, because first I wanted to do it out of the country. And I applied for, of course, scholarships because it can be quite expensive. And I actually got three or two scholarships. Yeah, I actually got scholarships, but I feel like God, at least I trust that it is Him who spoke to me, and the idea of having to do my master's degree this year and abroad I wasn't obsessed with it anymore, because my friends know, like, yeah, I was quite obsessed with that idea, but not anymore. So yeah, that's another thing. There's this verse in, I think, Proverbs chapter 6 verse 24. I'll get the right verse and I'll put it down here. So that verse talks about, paraphrasing, of course, it says that we have our plans, but God has the plan, like the ultimate, you know, like the ultimate say. So in all of this vision board story and maybe New Year resolutions or what your goals are, oopsie, just tell you a few reasons why I think you should come up with a vision board. And one of them is the fact that you have a physical reference. I think it gives you a sense of inspiration, because like you see it every day, and it gives you, like, you know, this is the way to go. So there's that. Then accountability to yourself. You also get a sense of achievement at the end of the year, because like right now I'm looking back and I'm like, wow, I'm so thankful because of all the things that I've been able to do. The other thing I forgot to mention is my website. So I had it on my vision board that I wanted a website, and that's all I knew. So I didn't know how much it would cost me and if I could afford it. I didn't know what content I'd have on the website and all of that. But I actually managed to launch my website, and shout out to my brother who was my web developer. It helps you to maintain focus and to track your progress. So with a vision board, you can be like, so this is what I've done, this is not what I've not done, so what can I do next year, and all of, or rather, what can I do to achieve what I want to achieve. Yeah, so that's just a brief or long version of why I think you should have a vision board. That's about it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and as usual, share it with your clan. Thank you. Bye. See you on my next one. This might actually be my last video of 2019, so see you in 2020.